I have just listed good debt. So if you have been in this business, or maybe you've taken student loans or mortgage or something, you've probably heard like the idea, hey, this is good debt, this is bad debt. And the idea here is that good debt is stuff that can appreciate and return on value. And bad debt is like just consumer debt. You're putting the meal on the credit card and you're eating it, right? What, is there no value to the meal? But what I don't like about this is that I think in recent years we have seen, is there really such thing as a good debt? The housing market crashed in 2008. A lot of people took mortgages that were told is good debt. Over the long run, homes appreciate in value. You won't lose money. Yet homes went down 40, 50% in some markets, right? So was that good debt? Or is it just like good debt most of the time kind of a deal? We saw the idea that you get student loans because that's investing in your education, your earning potential in the future. But now we have this crisis of $1 trillion in student loan debt out there without people being able to pay it off. And you talk about forgiving student loan debt because people don't have the capacity to pay it off. Was that good debt then? It certainly was listed as good debt. I think labeling debts, like you said earlier, is just a tool. Labeling them good or bad kind of gives people, in my opinion, like permission to load up on these good debts, and without any kind of consideration for what can I manage personally, what makes sense for me personally. And I just believing that no matter what I take, it will get paid off. Or is there some sort of calculus to this? Am I doing some forecasting personally on it? So I don't like the idea, honestly, of bad debt either. It's just debt, and it's something that you have to really think about at the micro level if it's relevant to you, and stop getting conditioned by these labels we put on things. And I think in many ways it's the financial institutions that are lending and calling this good debt. And so what incentive do they have? They want to lend it out. So let's just stop with the labels of good debt, bad debt, better than. It's just debt, and it can get away from you, or it can be a tool to, I know some people who have financed their whole company, small business, they launched it and it was their key to financial freedom. So in that way, that was good debt, but that wasn't necessarily like a good plan for everyone. What are your thoughts on that? Good debt, bad debt?
If you had unlimited amount of money, would you like to pay for your house in cash or take out good debt? I think everyone would probably choose to pay for it in cash if they had unlimited money, right? If there was like they were invested as much as they needed to be, and yada yada.
Again, let's not make this whole episode about me, Bjorn.
Yes, I'm sorry to bring you up again. I do think that, there's that kind of giving people permission. I think particularly my biggest struggle is the student loan, because houses, I think for most people, they're not going to be able to pay for a house in cash, and they are going to have a mortgage. And you do hope if you stay there long enough that it will increase in value, but you never know for sure. Student loans, that's the frustrating one, because it's like labeled as good debt, investing in your education, which, like you said, gives, I think, way too much permission to just load up on student loans. And that one is, I feel like it is irresponsible for schools. Like the school I went to, two of the most common majors coming out of there are pastors and teachers. And as far as I know, pastors and teachers are not usually making like the highest incomes. And to have students pay a private college education, funding that through loans, it just feels like irresponsible for the school to pitch it that way. To even have a whiff of, this is good debt, don't worry, this is funding your future. Even that stat that you're going to earn, I think, over $1 million more if you have a college degree versus not, which could be true. But what if like half of that has to go to your student loan? Is that really worth it? And I think that's becoming part of the calculus that people are starting to do now. As colleges get more expensive, starting salaries haven't gone at the same pace. It's not like people are starting at a six-figure starting salary. They're still in the $40,000 to $60,000 range probably, or maybe less, depending on your major. And that's been that way for a long time. So I think to imply that, oh, you're fine, take out debt, take out student loan debt, and then you have these people entering the workforce. And I think you even shared that you had a lot of student loans to have to pay off too. And that one doesn't feel right for me, because you're trying to help kids, but then it's like in the background is the school that has to make money, and they're not going to have anybody come if they can't offer loans. So it's a tough one. I'm not sure the answer, but I think there will have to be some changes.
You
in
can't
that
charge student loans the way you can. There's all sorts of things that are catches on the back end, like you said. And I agree with you. The student loans, like you said, are a problem because, again, who's the beneficiary of you taking more student loans, the colleges. And so the colleges push for more financing because then they can raise their tuition. More people can pay that tuition because of the financing. And who has the biggest incentive to tell you to finance that education? I feel like it's the colleges. And so there's no incentive right now for them to reduce it because there's no lack of demand for the school and money chasing that demand. And so I think a lot of things to change to get that cycle broken a little bit. But like you said, the $1 million, I've heard that too, over the course of your lifetime with a college degree over not. But I wonder, if you were to go into the workforce, say like in a trade, for 4 years before all of your peers do, because, you know, you go into welding or plumbing or something like that. Now you have 4 years of money that's going to compound, right? That's savings. And these people are coming in 4 years later, but now can't necessarily save for however many years they're going to pay off those student loans. Do you make $1 million more if you have, say, a 10-year head start? Or in my case, I really wasn't saving for the first decade I was out of college because I was trying to get those debts paid down.
Yep.
Would someone with 14 years head start be better off than me? I could say that I don't know that I'll ever catch up, to be honest. Who knows? Maybe I'm trying, which is why we're on the path to financial freedom. But I agree with you. To me, it's just debt. And I'm not opposed to debt. I am not pro debt or anything like that. It's just a tool. And if it fits your needs, then look at it, make your best informed decision, but don't just willy-nilly get caught up with the, that's good, take it. That's good debt. Load up.
Yep.